Okay, I think we are live. We are ready to go. So, welcome to 2020 Reviews.org. Thank you so much for joining us this year. I hope that you're subscribed. If not, I hope you get subscribed and hit that bell icon. Really glad to have you and really looking forward to 2020. We have some major changes in store. I won't reveal those just yet, but they will be revealed soon. So if you're coming to this video a little bit later, then you have the luxury of kind of scrubbing forward, and you can check out what it is that, all the little things that we're going to talk about today. I've got a few things to go over, a few bits of streaming news that you can see in the description below. We've got PlayStation Vue shutting down this month, price hike from Sling TV, awesome, and then a move from an executive at HBO over to another streaming service. So, got a few items of news to go over, and then we're also going to talk about what's going on with CES this year and what we're going to be doing to cover that next week. So, let's go check out the comments here. Hello, Carolyn. I am glad to see you here. That's a name I don't know that I recognize. Is this your first time on the stream? It seems like there are a few names that I tend to recognize. So if this is your first time on the stream, welcome. Glad to have you. So let's talk about what we have coming up. First of all, I'll mention CES, and I'm going to do this again at the end of the video. So as you know, things have been a little bit here. Let me get the mic in a little bit better place. Things have been a little bit sparse as far as releases over the last few weeks, simply because of the holiday season. I need vacations too, and so I took a decent-sized one for Christmas and New Year's. But we are going to have a veritable avalanche of videos coming your way over the next week or two, because CES is coming up. If you're not familiar with it, this is the trade show in Las Vegas, the consumer electronics show that comes up every year at this time. We've covered it the last 2 years. You can go back and watch some of those videos. We're going to be having similar coverage this year. We'll have about 24 videos coming your way in the next couple of weeks. And not just that, but I'm going to be doing live streams as well. Right now, I'm in a nice, quiet studio. You might be able to hear the hum of the heater behind me, but there's nobody around. It's going to be a madhouse the next time I go live. So if you enjoy live streams and if you want to see what CES is all about, then make sure that you've got that bell icon pressed, because it'll notify you when I go live on those days. And I am planning to go live at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time on those 4 days, Monday through Thursday next week, when we're there at CES. It may be adjusted a few minutes here or there, if we need to get set up or get over to some booth or something, but I want to bring you some cool stuff every day at 11 o'clock Pacific time, because that's where the conference is. So if you're on the East Coast, that'll be at 2 o'clock your time. Okay, so let me just make sure that I am not missing anything big on the comments here. So let's see. Sergio wants to know if Sling is going to get Univision channels back at some point. I have no idea. I have no inside information on that. Sorry to disappoint. Okay. Aaron, all these streamers talk up sports and so few offer the NHL network. What gives? Well, it's oftentimes not the fault of, sometimes it is, but it may not be the fault of the streaming provider. It may be that the NHL is, too expensive for them to justify carrying that network on their in their packages. The good news is the NHL network, you can stream that. So if it is something that you want, you can stream it independently. If you have, a Roku or a Amazon Fire, something like that, an Apple TV, you should be able to get the NHL network on those independently. So, okay, speaking of which, let's get to some streaming news. First of all, the first piece of news that we have here is PlayStation Vue shutting down. It's a dark day for some PS Vue fans. For others, you may not care or you may be happy about it. I'm one of those who I've always liked PlayStation Vue, but I've never seen what it brings to the table that's any different from anybody else, especially for the last year or two. For the first couple of years of its existence, I think it had some strong selling points, but those kind of went away as everybody else caught up. As PlayStation said, they just wanted to concentrate on their core mission of gaming, right? And so I think it's good that they're kind of turning their attention back to that. I think later this year we're supposed to get the PlayStation 5. That's what reports are saying, and so it's nice that they're kind of turning their attention back to that. I'm always sad to see a bit of competition go in the streaming space, but there are still plenty of options out there. So at the end of this month, well, near the end of this month, on January 30th, that is when PlayStation Vue is shutting down. If you're using PlayStation Vue right now, I am not 100% clear on whether you will be able to stream it on the 30th or if it'll be shut down and the 29th is the last day you're going to be able to stream it. I'm not sure. But I did want to mention, if you have thought about signing up for PlayStation Vue, you can't, no more signups being taken. But the good news is, if you do already use it, you shouldn't delete it just yet, because this month is essentially a free month of TV for those who have it. There were notices sent out over the last few days, kind of like, thank you for your payment to PlayStation Vue. And people freaked out, and they opened the email and they discovered that the charge was for $0, and so people weren't being charged, but they're still able to watch through the end of this month. So if you have it, don't delete it. Go ahead and take advantage of a little bit of free TV service. And then at the end of this month, you'll have to start hunting around for another option. And we can talk about maybe what those options might be. But my advice is always, anytime you're switching between services, take advantage of those free trial periods. If they are offered, then they are great, just to try things out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, Raul, sorry, I haven't looked over in a little bit. Somebody asked you to stop spamming. I agree. Please stop spamming that, but I am glad you're here. But yeah, we don't want to overcrowd the comment section here. So let's see. What's PS Vue, Cozy Bob? Well, we're going to move on from that. So, streaming service. All right. Thought about getting Vue, but you never got it, Gamer Tyler, and you're glad you never got it. Yeah, it's like I said, at the beginning of its lifespan, I thought it was really pretty great, but after a little while, its big selling point was that it had amazing picture quality, especially compared to other providers like Sling. But everybody else's picture quality kind of caught up, and after a while, PlayStation Vue was just the expensive service on the block. And then everybody else caught up with pricing too, so they were all expensive, and so suddenly PlayStation Vue is kind of just lost in a sea of streaming services without anything to differentiate it. And so it was never a bad service in my opinion, but it became less good comparatively over time. Okay, so next bit of news on this, Sling TV, speaking of which, they've raised their prices and they changed their logo. But, I mean, that's maybe a story for a different day. Sling TV has raised its prices. This is so annoying. This happens to me all the time because when I made a video last month, they had a certain price point. It was $25 a month for the orange or the blue package and $40 for the combo. And I put that out, and then it never fails. Within a week, they had raised their prices. And so now I got to go do a new Sling video so that I have the right numbers. They're killing me with this. So yeah, it was $25 a month for orange or blue. Now that's raised to $30 a month, and a similar $5 a month price hike for the orange plus blue combo. So now $45 a month for that. And that orange plus blue combo is very similar to what we see with other providers as far as channel counts, as far as the offering goes. And we see that reflected in the price now. It is still a little bit less than its competitors, but not a ton less. YouTube TV, $50 a month. Hulu Live and Fubo TV are now kind of leading out with the high prices there, starting at $55 a month for their base packages. Anyway, so let me pop over to the comments here, make sure I'm not missing anything there. Okay. Oh, Aaron, you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to the NHL comment. Let's see, Aaron, you say you can stream games in the NHL app, but you need a TV subscription to access NHL Network. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good distinction to draw. So, yeah, I don't have any answers for you as far as NHL Network. I can give you the same guesses that I had before, but it's tough to say for sure why it doesn't work out the way that we always want it to, right? Okay. Sergio, thanks for loving the channel. I appreciate that. Okay. Smoky Whitetail, what do you think Fubo TV is going to do with all the channel drops the last couple days with Fox Regional Sports Networks and FX? Oh, yeah, it's that's rough for Fubo, because that's what Fubo is built on. They've got a ton of great offerings as far as regional sports networks, and what they don't have is ESPN. And so they kind of, for U.S. sports, for nationally broadcast sports, they kind of count on Fox in large part. And so with the removal of several of those regional sports networks, that hurts. I don't care when it comes to Fubo, at least. I don't care as much about FX and FXX. Man, that's difficult to say. Not because they're not good channels, but because I'm not a huge fan of the idea of cable replacement. This is a total personal opinion. I just think live TV needs to go away. But sports will always be best live, right? And so that's what I care about. So it hurts more for me that they lost their regional sports networks. What do I think they're going to do? I think they're going to strike a new deal. They have to. They have to strike a new deal. If they're not going to carry ESPN, which they may not ever do, because like they were telling me, I was on a phone call with them a month or so ago. They were telling me it is just too expensive. Plain and simple. We cannot carry ESPN, at least not at this point. And so if they can't carry that, my opinion is they need Fox Sports Networks. Short of that, sorry, and I should probably take this off now that I'm not really talking about Sling anymore, but short of that, my prediction has always been that Fubo will, or at least should, really dial its offering into other, sports. They concentrate a lot on soccer, and I think they should lean into that. But yeah, maybe that's just me. Okay. Let's see. What's to stop people? Franchise254 asks, what to stop people from getting someone's login information from a cable provider and using it to log into apps for content and not pay for it? Well, we've addressed this before. Let me see if I can find that video. We've talked about this very subject, and it's kind of, you're talking about piggybacking on other people's other people's passwords, sharing passwords, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it quickly enough. Okay, here's one that I can share with you. And this is, oops, that's a little too loud. This is a video. I'm just going to link to it in the comments here. So if you check the comments, that link is to a video called "The Problem with VPNs," and that's in large part, that's one of the subjects of that. When we talk about VPNs, a lot of people are using virtual private networks to get around geographical restrictions, or some people use password sharing to get around paying for something themselves. So somebody says, Aaron says morality. Well, that's what they're counting on, is people like me. I do not care for password sharing because I want to pay for what I'm consuming. But what's to stop them from doing it, or what's to stop you from doing it? It's your geography. And so they can tell if you have a cousin in Denver and you're using your cousin's password, but you live in Philadelphia, they can see where your traffic is coming from and shut that password sharing down. They can. They don't often do this. But people have been using virtual private networks to kind of mask where they're streaming from, and so they've gotten around it that way. It's legal gray area at best, and it's often against the terms of service with the streaming services that you're using, and so you may not be able to justifiably get away with that. Now, word on the street is that there is going to be more of a crackdown on password sharing. We'll see. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's a tricky thing because it is against their terms of service. Like I said, it's a legal gray area, but I think with a lot of these services, they just want a bunch of people watching. Like with Netflix, you get addicted to Netflix, and then, that person you were piggybacking on, they cancel their service, and suddenly you're like, oh, well, I'm going to sign up anyway. So Netflix is kind of seeing it as a long play, right? And that's why they haven't really cracked down on that before. We'll see if they ever do. Okay. Sorry, I gotta catch up to a few things. I'll try to fly through this. Aaron, is Roku TV similar to Pluto? Yes, it is, and it is pretty good. I think Pluto has had a little more runway to develop their offerings, so it might be a little better right now. But Roku TV is good, and I like that they have. Is it Roku TV or the Roku channel that has the kids? The kids section. It's really good. Okay. It's let's see. BritBox or Acorn TV. I do not have a recommendation there, but you're welcome to share yours. Okay. Oh, Rich, that's a good tidbit. Disney sold the Fox regional sports networks to Sinclair, and their prices are too expensive. That's a good tidbit. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So yeah, all right. If you're just getting in, let's pull that back up. Sling TV has raised its prices, so you can check out that slide for just a moment. But we're gonna move on to the last bit of news, which is Apple TV Plus has brought on an alum from HBO. So the former CEO of HBO is Richard Plepler, and he quit HBO. I think it was sometime last year. He quit HBO and started his own production company. And so the difference being he was running an entire network, and then he started a production company where he actually wanted to make the shows and be the producer of the shows themselves, not just oversee the entire network. And now Apple TV Plus has hired him and his production company on to produce content for them. And like I was saying a few months ago, I put a little joke down there because like I was saying months ago, Apple TV Plus is going to be the new HBO. This is where we're going to go for all of our premium content, and I'm always right. It's a sad fact of life, but there you have it. I am always right. Okay. Let me look up anything else. Okay. I do want to talk, as long as we're talking about streaming services, I want to talk a little bit about CES as well. There are things that we're going to talk about, questions that we're going to try to get answered, and we'll see what we can find out. One thing that I am going to try to get more information on, because there is going to be a keynote address about it, is Quibi. So if you haven't heard of Quibi, it's going to be, it's going to be a streaming service that's very different. It's going to be short, kind of social media friendly videos, but premium quality. So like Steven Spielberg makes a 6-minute video that you can share on Twitter, kind of a thing. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with Quibi. There's going to be some HBO news. HBO news. There'll be news from Apple and Disney about their streaming services as well. And so we're going to be bringing you more details on that. I think somebody was asking me about that. I thought I saw something, thoughts on the HBO rollout during CES. So I'm going to get some more info and talk to you about that during CES. So anyway, I am curious about what you all in the comments are thinking about Apple TV Plus. How many of you have tried it? What do you think of it? I mentioned this on a previous video that I made in November after Disney Plus came out, but it's becoming more and more apparent as time goes on that because I have kids, Disney Plus is great. It is valuable. I love it. But as myself, as an adult, I actually prefer the content that I'm getting from Apple TV Plus. I think it's fantastic. Hopefully Richard Plepler can come in and make some more great content, but it's like every Friday, today's Friday, ooh, that's good news. Every Friday when new content is released, I've been, over the last couple of months, more excited every Friday to watch the stuff on Apple TV Plus than the new stuff on Disney Plus, with the exception of The Mandalorian. I love that show. But as far as other new content, Apple TV Plus is just killing it, and I really, really enjoy it. So I would be curious to hear what you guys think in the comments. So hit those up. All right. So let us... Oops. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I just got a message. Wanted to make sure that it wasn't, didn't have a booger hanging out of my nose or something. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about CES. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. Oh, there's a big thing of sunshine right on my chest. That's funny. We're going to be at CES next week. We will cover it from, we'll be there from Monday to Thursday. And as we're there at CES, we're going to be doing live streams and we're going to be doing videos. Lots and lots of videos. So watch for those. I'm sure that, and we're going to be covering a lot of different subjects. It won't just be streaming stuff, but I will try to bring you, like I said, news about Quibi, about Disney, about Apple, about whoever has streaming news. I'm going to try to bring that to you. But we're also going to release videos on home security and smart home stuff and the other stuff, internet, the other stuff that Reviews.org typically covers. I do videos on those every once in a while, and we're going to be doing a lot more of those going forward, covering technology for your entire home. I know I've been concentrating on streaming through most of 2019, but we're going to be branching out a little bit, including streaming with a few other things. Like I said, traditional TV, internet, home security, smart home stuff, a lot of that. And so we're going to be covering that at CES. So watch your notifications. Make sure you've turned on notifications if you want to see that stuff. So I'll be doing individual booths and products, some interviews with people there, and then also just doing some live streams with stuff that I think might be interesting for us to check out together while I'm there at CES. I'm going to be the guy wandering around with the selfie stick, looking at all the stuff at CES with you. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you join me there. We have almost 24 videos slated for that trip. So tons of stuff coming out next week. And if you're here on the live stream, I would really appreciate your help as we go through CES and release those videos. Make sure you give those a like. Make sure you comment on them if you find them interesting. And just help us give those CES videos a little bit of a boost. It'll be very helpful to us, and we would appreciate it a lot from you. So I'm going to start the process of wrapping up, but I'm going to go check the comments and see what's going on over here before we call it quits for today. So let's see. Apple TV Plus, Aaron says, is trying to step into HBO's high-quality output void. I don't know if there's a void yet, but I think that that's maybe the direction that HBO is going with HBO Max. They're going to try to broaden their appeal beyond the adult content that they're known for. So there may be a void of a provider that's a little more niche for adults, and Apple TV Plus could fill those shoes, like you say. Robert Baker, is AT&T TV Now, man, that name, is AT&T TV Now still losing customers like crazy? I'm really unhappy about the DVR and the recent price hike. Nobody likes the recent price hike. The DVR, my thing about the DVR, I get it. I 100% get it. There is no digital DVR out there, no cloud DVR offered by any of these streaming services that doesn't come with downsides. They all just have like slightly different downsides, so it's kind of a pick your poison situation with the DVRs that they all offer. All right. Caleb Richardson, congratulations. New year, new router, new 4K TV. Life is good. Wow. Consumerism at its finest. I love it. I didn't get any of those things. But my old 1080p plasma TV has been acting up, so it's almost time for my own new 4K TV out here in the studio. Okay. Franchise, you have Apple TV Plus, wouldn't compare it to Disney because they're two demographics, but both are excellent. Yeah, I think that's kind of my point, is like, I wasn't expecting to be as excited about Apple TV Plus as I am, because when they announced it, they're like, we're going to have 9 shows on Apple TV Plus, and I was like, 9 shows? That doesn't sound like enough. But they were so good that I didn't care that there were only 9 of them, and I'm pretty excited about it now. So, okay. Skip past some of that. Daily Side, can't wait to see you live in CES. Me too. I hope it's good. The live stuff, we're gonna be kind of flying by the seat of our pants, and trying to bring you fun, interesting things. But I don't know what that's gonna be until we get there. So we'll all have an adventure together. Okay. In 2020, everything will be connected to the internet. That reminds me, if you followed our CES adventures over the last couple of years, which I don't imagine most of you did. We had far fewer subscribers at that point. But it's funny, when you go to CES, everything is smart, which makes sense, right? But it does get a little bit old after a while. You've got smart pillows, and you've got obviously you've got smart TVs and whatnot. But then you've got smart sheets. Like I said, smart pillows. You got smart cat litter dispensers. Just smart everything. And so everything, smart this, smart that. And so I wonder, it's been that way for 2 years in a row, and I'm curious to see if there will be a new buzzword at CES this year, or if it's going to be, a bunch of new smart things, or the same old smart things. I guess we'll see. All right. Nittany, Apple TV Plus does not stream live TV. That's correct. It's only on-demand content. Okay. Carolyn, your plasma TV is also going bad. Feel my pain. Feel it. Hopefully they'll be all right after a while. Or hopefully it'll be all right after a while after I buy a new 4K TV. And I can feel good about myself again. Okay. Let's see. Is there a way to watch live sports with Amazon Prime add-on channel? Not sure the price, though. Yeah, Amazon Prime does stream some select events, but it's not like a regularly programmed thing. They just kind of get events every now and then, as far as I remember, unless anything's changed in the last couple of months. But sometimes they'll get like Thursday Night Football. They've got that you can watch, but it's not like they have a ton of NFL games. They got Thursday Night Football, which is cool. Okay. I'm going to wrap it up there. Sorry, I couldn't get to every single comment, but if you enjoy these live chats and if you have other questions, make sure you stay tuned for next week. I'm going to be doing one, like I said, every day, Monday through Thursday at CES next week. So make sure you are tuned in for that. Come armed with your CES questions. I may not be able to answer a lot of the streaming questions that you all have, depending on what I find out there. But I will have some fun topics and some fun booths and some fun stuff for you guys to see. Maybe some people to talk to as well. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this stream today. Glad to have you all. Share the channel with your friends if you appreciate what we do here, so that not only are you subscribed, but we can kind of grow that subscriber base as well. Would really appreciate your help with that. Thanks again for watching today. I will see you next week at CES.